What is it? All right, let's start. Thank you. What?
I don't want to be wiping my glasses on the camera. All right.
Welcome to Egomaniac episode 005. It's your boy, Jon. Product placement.
Ain't there nobody gonna break my stride? Can nobody hold me down? Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
My man, what's gotten into you?
Haven't you noticed how big and strong I've gotten?
Yeah, kinda.
Ha ha ha! Me no have no worries, man.
All right. I like it.
Yep, I look good, I feel good.
You always have so many secrets.
This secret is free. It's available to everyone. Mi mada always say, me guan grow big and strong. But first, me have a drinky da ding.
A drink?
Hey, how's this for a tickler? What's black and white? It has utterly delicious juice inside. A cow, that's right. I'm talking about milk.
I haven't had milk in ages.
You're missing out.
Nice. Missing out on what? Yeah.
Oh my god. I got you.
Milk City, baby.
So that's your secret.
It does a body good.
Fun question for Kyle. 5 questions for Kyle. For the next 60 seconds, tell a willing bachelorette why you are compatible.
Man.
Tell a willing bachelorette why you're compatible.
With her? How do,
The next 60 seconds.
All right, I got 46 seconds now. I don't even understand the question. You can't say how you're compatible to someone who we don't know.
A willing bachelorette.
Well, I'm not. I'm probably not because I'm less willing to be a bachelor.
You're not willing. So you want a lady. Tell her why you're compatible.
With her.
Yeah.
I guess because we're both heterosexual. And that's about it.
60 seconds.
I got 5 seconds.
5 questions for Kyle. It's the year 5000 and everything is the same, but everybody gets a robot. Yours can only do one thing and one thing only. What is its function?
Clean my room.
Nice. In the book of Genesis, Lot's wife is turned into a pillar of salt when she looks back at the city of Sodom. If women turned to salt when they looked at you, how would you try to get their attention without compromising their human bodies?
I would sneak up behind them and
Don't
talking to the back side of their head.
say don't turn around.
And say don't move a muscle.
And they're like, why?
And they're like, why? Trust me, you'll get hurt.
I would turn around.
Well,
some girls would be like, danger.
Yeah.
That's my aphrodisiac.
Yeah. Don't move.
Don't turn around, salt baby. Don't turn around, little salt baby.
Yikes.
Comedian Howard Stern is sobbing in an elevator, citing his wanton arrogance as his decline, for the cause of his decline into obscurity. What advice would you give him about updating his resume? So fucking stupid. Doesn't even make sense.
So
You're gonna have to bleep these out. You can do all the other editing. You can't bleep out my. Oh, and I just want to address this. Well, 5 questions for Kyle. Let's finish them.
All right. Yeah, let's finish let's stay on time.
Clang! You just shut your bedroom door. And you turned on your deranged...
My metal door.
You turned on your deranged red light bulb. You announced to no one that infrared light therapy optimizes hormone production, conducive for restful sleeping, and that the research behind it is backed by hard science. What is Kyle's favorite show to watch at bedtime?
One that I regularly repeat would probably be, I don't know, it's been a while since I've watched it, but probably either like Curb Your Enthusiasm or at one time it was Louie, but that's been a while since I've watched that one. And Hannibal.
Clang! 5 questions for Kyle. So we've been getting feedback and we'll try to listen to it. One of the things that I've tried to focus on, you might have seen me struggling in previous episodes, is with cussing. You'll notice that Kyle rarely cusses on this. I frequently, look, he's waiting for me to do it right now. I don't know if that's in the shot or not. Is that in the shot, Laser?
It should be.
Kyle doesn't
Yeah, you're good.
doesn't cuss ever, really.
On the podcast.
On the podcast. Look, I'm a firm believer in manners, right? In the sense that you try to watch out your mics in front of your face.
Okay.
Try not to be respectful of other people's.
Try to be respectful.
Try to be respectful of other people's sensitivities.
Yeah, things that may offend them or
Things
something
that may
they
offend them. You know, I try to say please and thank you. I try to hold the door. I know that was big with my mom when I was growing up, but cussing's something that I kind of struggle with sometimes. I'll let it rip. There's other environments where I don't curse at all, but on this one I just feel so comfortable.
Those environments are generally more short-lived than this probably too,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
But with the same thing as far as like being raised with the manners and stuff, I feel like like in my household we weren't allowed to cuss at all, you know.
And that's the feedback that I got that's going to change everything. I've gotten feedback a couple times like, or have I gotten any at all? Did somebody else say?
About cussing? Yeah, but it wasn't like don't do it. It was more just like,
dang, that guy says the F word a lot, boy.
Yeah.
But now, dun dun dun, Cindy Hopper.
My mother found this podcast as much as I tried to keep it away from her.
She rooted out. And you know what else she rooted out? Her attention to me. She said that other boy. She knows my name. She knows who I am, but she's like, the other man cusses. She's so offended that she
that he became the other man.
Deleted the memory of me from her cerebral cortex.
Right.
And I just became like
that other guy.
A dark Zephyr, a Dementor.
Right.
From Harry Potter. So that was my bottom.
The feedback was, I'm glad you don't. Her whole feedback was, after I found out she discovered the podcast, was, I'm just glad you don't say the F word as much as that other guy.
that other guy. So, anyways, we all have rock bottoms in life, and if there's one thing that I've learned is every bottom has a bottom. Every bottom's got a trap door. But you know what? I don't have to live that way anymore. I can decide to make a change now.
I don't have to live that way anymore. We were just talking about
I
this.
know. I'm trying to say it more.
Yeah.
I don't have to live that way anymore. Yeah, so no cussing. So I'm trying not to. Kyle's got a cuss counter over here, and hopefully on this podcast, when he goes to edit it, he'll be able to bleep out previous cusses. So, or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll.
I probably won't.
Yeah. 5 questions for Kyle. In the news today, baby, we got a lot to talk about. It's just me and Kyle today, and I'm excited. I know that we've had a lot of
riff-raff on here.
Yeah, a lot of energy, man, and it's good. We love the people that we've had on.
We do.
But it makes it adds complexity to the podcast, and we haven't had just us two on since our very first episode, and back then we didn't really know what the F.
Yeah, back then we were just children.
Yeah, we were just small babies.
Young babies.
With man-sized facial hair.
Man-sized ankles.
Man-sized. Small children with grown men ankles. We didn't know what we were doing on the tech side or anything.
And we'll get a picture of our ankles from back then up on the screen.
Yeah, boy. So anyways, we're excited to have just us two on. We're going to read the news today like we always do. We just won't have the benefit of having a third party sitting to my right. Laser's got some good stuff for us today. She picked a couple of these. There's some other big things in the news that I kind of wanted to touch base on that affected my sensitivities as a man, made me sad. But let's get into like some of this other.
And Laser is back there today again, and she's wearing a Mad Shade T-shirt, which is Mad Shade Trey.
Trey, that's right.
Yeah, and he'll be
previously mentioned on another episode.
Right, and he'll be a guest soon.
Yeah. So first article we have. San Francisco to pay $13.1 million to, as they should.
To man framed by police for murder? How long was he in prison? Was he in prison?
8 years.
Jamal Truelove spent more than 6 years in prison for a 2007 murder before being acquitted in a 2015 retrial. And trust me, I'm not done with them by a long shot. A profile appearing to Truelove wrote on Twitter.
So he sued the state?
He sued the city.
The city? I mean, yeah.
After what these cowards of the law did to me, I will lit my freedom. That's like a typo from him.
My freedom?
I will let my freedom ring through every platform I get to show. Man, this guy he's on one. He's on a tear. And, rightfully so.
Yeah.
If you could just imagine, I know this is just a headline, but just imagine doing big boy prison, murder prison.
For 8 years.
There's minimum security, medium security,
and maximum.
and then there's big boy
prison.
Big boy on the yard. And you better get it popping.
And drink your milk.
Day one.
Yeah.
Day one, man. You better get it popping on the yard. Mm-hmm. That's where he went.
That's crazy. So so it wasn't like a mistake or anything. He was framed.
They manipulated witnesses.
Wow.
They needed the numbers, man.
And
So that's all it was.
Acting career or something.
Who was the victim?
His friend.
Yeah, he had an acting career.
His friend was the victim. And so the cops basically just needed to pin somebody? Is that all it was?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how some of these, not all,
His
officers
friend was
are
shot
lost.
in public housing in San Francisco. Yeah.
He appeared on the reality TV show I Love New York, too. You remember that?
Yeah.
I Love New York?
Yeah.
She was...
It was, her name was New York, right?
Yeah.
And did she come from Flavor Flav? Is that what that was from?
I think she was... Man,
she was
all these memories are flooding back.
She was one of the Flavor Flav people,
Yeah,
right?
and they would like kiss real gross on camera. You remember that?
She had that kind of like hype, or like she had a very interesting voice.
It was so great, and she had like heavy eyelids. I remember.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she would they would like suck and
they would they would highlight the, you know.
Oh yeah, man,
Ugh.
that's what happened.
You like
dude.
that?
I hate that.
That fucking.
I'll crank it up like they did
No,
on the.
that's the number one.
No, stop making that noise, man. It grosses
God,
me
no.
out.
Yeah, Kyle's trying to do ASMR.
That's what.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
it's ASMR.
That's not what it is.
I'll
That's
cut that part out and
not
post it as ASMR.
That's PTSD. So yeah, that's what happens to people that go on this show, man. On I Love New York, just f's their whole lives up. You know, that's why the cop did that, man.
Because he was
Because-
on that show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, F this guy.
Yeah.
F this mother effer.
If you've got the like, if you've got the power to stop and say F this mother effer, can't you just find some other way to say?
Screw this guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you imagine a cop saying, screw him?
I more so than F him.
Oh, no. No way. If I was a crooked cop, I'd be throwing F-bombs around
But you'd say
left
F?
and right. Oh, yeah. If I was a crooked cop, I would be it would be like training day stuff.
Wouldn't you say, if you were a crooked cop, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's what I said. Well,
No.
like, I'm saying F because I can't say what you said. Cindy Hopper. Next one is... Boy... Okay, what's this? Adele? What is this?
No. MySpace loses over 50 million songs from their website.
I read this because they just like their server was not secure or something. What happened?
Yeah. And
MySpace.
people are trying
Yeah.
to get their music back, and they're just like
Well,
redirecting.
what were they doing only having it on MySpace in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing of why it's not such a big deal, because they probably have it stored, but maybe it's old, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
But that would be smaller smaller musicians, I would think.
Small little tiny people like
little
Puma Blue.
people.
Yeah.
Small baby people,
Little tiny people and big ankles, big boy
Yeah.
ankles.
for sure.
What's popular? What's behind the discovery and success of... Oh, okay, I didn't know this. Arctic Monkeys, Lily Allen, Kate Nash, Adele, and Bring Me the Horizon.
It's saying they got their start on MySpace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I don't understand.
I did not know that.
Like,
Isn't that crazy?
Lily Allen's pretty big, right?
Yeah, all those people are.
Yeah.
Right, but
Adele?
Arctic
I don't
Arctic
know.
Monkeys has a hot link, but Lily Allen doesn't.
Arctic Monkeys is very big, bigger than Lily Allen.
What are they saying?
I would think. I don't know. Lily Allen's pretty big, but she's like UK big, right?
Yeah.
But so Arctic Monkeys is like at one point they were the biggest band in Europe. They were.
What are they saying?
What would be what's their most popular
I'm blanking
song?
so hard.
I mean, I know a
Oh
couple,
my
but
gosh.
I don't know
They've
if
had
it's.
a lot of radio hits. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what their radio hits necessarily would be. But like, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, I think was their biggest first hit.
I don't
We'll play
even know
some
what that
after,
is.
but yeah, they were pretty big here and still are pretty big here. But in the UK, they were like the biggest thing since Oasis. And then Oasis was the biggest thing since the Beatles in the UK.
However,
I could be wrong. I've never lived there.
Last year, fans noticed the music links on the site had stopped working despite an initial promise to solve the issue. MySpace has now issued a statement on its website saying a backlog of files has been lost. You think that has anything to do with them being an old-ass website?
Yeah, what do you think Tom's up to? Is he still
Dude.
running it?
He is
yes.
in the whip, driving hot, exotic whips around, flashing, bling, bling. He doesn't give a hoot.
I like that. See, that was a good one. Instead of an
Yeah,
F.
that was good.
He didn't give a hoot. So he's
my
flashing around bling bling or flashing around his little pecker.
Probably that, too.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were a billionaire?
I'd let my pecker breathe on the wind.
Whenever you want.
Yeah.
Well, apparently there's
You would show
still
your
MySpace
abs to
corporate.
kids.
I don't have abs.
You'd be like, this is what you could be
Yeah.
if you just make billions. And they'd be like, I don't know if I should scream. They would be like interested, but they'd also want to go get an adult. They'd
Yeah.
be like, dang, Because he's kind of like a superhero.
What
You
is?
know what I mean?
A billionaire?
I don't know. If you show your abs and you're rich, you know, you're like a role model.
And you're like, this is what you could be.
Yeah, but it's also like way.
A 30-year-old man that gets moderate exercise.
Yeah. So, why would it? Yeah, it's worth going. You know, whatever. Don't show your abs to kids, right?
So is Tom a billionaire?
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
MySpace
For
sold
sure.
to a news corporation in 2005 for $580 million US, but MySpace is still functioning as a corporation. They're just this news site, which is weird because it's music based.
So Tom Anderson net worth. I love how y'all were both like, yeah, for sure. I don't think y'all realize how much $1 billion is. His net worth is $60 million.
Wow, I'm sure he was a billionaire at one point.
Dude, there's like a grip of billionaires out there
Yeah,
in the
there
world.
are.
Why is he not one of them?
Yeah.
Everybody's heard of MySpace.
Everyone's heard of it, but dude, like Paul McCartney, I think, is barely a billionaire. I think I was gonna say he wasn't
Really?
one, but he is. I think he's worth like $1 billion.
Hey, put the cap on that marker, man.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots of people. I'm pretty like Jay-Z isn't a billionaire. I don't think.
Oh, for sure he is.
Maybe he is, but like
He's
50
got-
Cent isn't.
No, I could tell you that though. But he's up there, dude. That vitamin water deal.
Everybody's heard of Lil Wayne.
I just
He's worth like $100
But that's
million
not the
at
same.
most.
These are tech apps. These are like startup, like tech apps
Right,
that touch the lives of everyone.
right. But MySpace hasn't been relevant for what 10 years.
But
at
yeah,
least?
There are 2,208 billionaires in the world.
Yeah,
there's-
that's very few. Very few.
well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, what's the next one? Screw them all. Rich people, man.
What's the next one,
You
Laser?
talk about rich people like it's nothing.
The next one is the Buckingham Correctional Center should cease banning menstruating visitors from using necessary menstrual products. Like, you can't go visit people
Why?
in prison and use your menstrual products.
You can't go into. You can't
Isn't
visit.
that weird?
You can't visit.
Oh, because
You
people
can't
are
use tampons or
just
whatever.
because so many people were using them, like just
I
putting
guess
things
that's
in
what
there
they're
for.
claiming.
You can't go visit your lover while you're on the rag.
Basically, yeah.
Well, you could go, but you just can't use.
yeah, you're just
Can you?
free-bleeding.
You're just-
Can
Yeah,
you have
just bleeding.
one on the way in?
You can't have one on you.
And you can't have any
in
type. You can't have like a Diva cup
No,
or
you can't even have menstrual cups.
a pad.
Nope.
Is it? This is nationwide.
No, it's
In-
this one correctional center.
Buckingham Correctional. So it's in
whatever.
the
It's in
UK.
Virginia. They're bass
Oh.
backwards about everything. They don't let anybody wear tampons. In the state of Virginia, everybody's having kids.
Yeah.
You know, all the time. Everybody's free bleeding everywhere. That's what Virginia's like. You ever been? There's blood everywhere.
West Virginia.
Yeah, it's just Appalachian Trail, man. They used to call it the period trail.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
I don't know that.
Appalachia is in Virginia, right?
I don't know.
Dude, somebody's watching this and they're
Kansas-
like, no, dumbass.
Yeah,
Kansas
for
City's in
sure.
Virginia.
Kansas City is in Kansas.
No, it's in Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri?
Yeah.
Isn't the capital of Kansas City? What's the capital of Kansas?
Capital of Kansas might be also Kansas City.
It's Topeka?
I think so. Yeah, Topeka, Kansas.
I don't
And
think
they
the
let you
Appalachian
use
Mountains are in Virginia at all.
menstrual
Where
products.
are they? Where are the Appalachian
Oh,
Mountains?
there's a portion of the Appalachian Trail. Yeah.
The Appalachian people, where the term hillbillies came from, are in Virginia.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Is that why? Mm-hmm. They're on hills?
Yeah,
In
well,
Virginia?
that's what they called them. That was like another like little shitty,
What about billy goats?
stuffy. How do you say Shitty? What do you say instead of that?
What about billy goats?
Crappy.
Crappy.
cruddy?
Cruddy.
Whatever. Yeah, man, that's where the term hillbilly.
There's lots of ways. It depends on what you're talking about. If you're saying, what was
Hillbillies.
your sentence?
The white trash people of.
Oh, you were referring to the people being cruddy.
No, man, I don't believe in calling people.
Who was cruddy? What was cruddy?
I'm saying that's how people talk about people that live in.
in cruddy ways.
Yeah, But I don't believe in that, man.
You could say demeaning.
Those people have a rich culture, you know what I mean? There's a documentary out on the people of West Virginia that live up in the Appalachian Hills.
Is there?
Yeah, and they're a little...
What's it called?
They're a little rural. I think it might be called Hillbilly.
Is that the one where they're making moonshine?
No.
A lot of the movie?
No. This is like some college-educated chick that's from the Appalachia area, and she goes off and gets a journalism degree, and she sounds like a hick, like a Virginia hick.
Yeah.
She's from that area. And then she goes back, and she's like a liberal and stuff now.
Yeah.
And she goes back to her people and wants to make this documentary about how there's a rich culture within them, but they're all like, yeah, man, Trump's going to build a wall. And she's like, you're not doing yourself any favors.
Right. So she's simultaneously trying to, like, teach them.
I think,
some
man,
way.
I think she's like trying to be chill about and like just let them be, but she's
Right.
trying to.
It's a delicate, yeah.
She's trying to highlight their like rich cultural heritage.
Yeah.
But they're like
Just so that people don't assume they're
judging,
just
but they're,
idiots
like,
and that they're
like living up to stereotypes.
Right.
You know. So it was a weird documentary. It's probably a documentary that could afford to not exist.
I think there's a lot of those.
Yeah, like she should have chalked that up to a loss. You know.
Speaking of documentaries, you want to talk about the one that Skelly recommended to us? I watched about half of it, but then I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, Jeff go by Skelly out here in the arts community, and he is a bad arse. Arse. You know what that means?
Yeah, that's a good one actually. But I think it's still
No, it's not. Don't even freaking put that on there. No, it's not.
it means ass.
Yeah, but all these things, so does shiz and all that stuff.
We'll put like a little, just here's a half
It
one.
doesn't go on there at all. Laser, will you look up if arse is a cuss word?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, it is, but
No,
let's
it's
go
not.
on. So Skelly's a bad arse.
He's a bad arse. Look, you said it too.
Just because arse is a British word doesn't mean it's not a bad word.
All right, exactly.
Who said that? Probably one of
That's
these
all.
articles.
All arse is us saying ass. In the U.S. saying ass, they say arse.
I mean, what really qualifies
A bad
swear
word
anyway?
I think the F word is really what
there's
it
some
really
other ones.
qualifies.
No, look at what's the big comedian? He's dead now. George Carlin's.
Yeah, the 6 words or whatever. What was it? 7?
Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Or just like whatever words wouldn't be aired on public television.
Let me look this documentary.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I think maybe arse could get by
Yeah,
on
I think
U.S.
I honestly think it could get by. So maybe it's a bad word, but it's
I think ass can get
acceptable.
by too, though. Probably on.
Me too, and damn and hell and stuff like
Damn,
that.
hell. So maybe not
The C word.
the C word, but they'd probably
Ooh.
they'll throw around the C word in the UK and it'll probably get aired.
Nah, I don't know.
I think it
Yeah,
would.
probably.
Yeah, they like that one.
We're more
And it's not as like, it
conservative.
doesn't have as much oomph as it does here.
Right, it would be shocking.
Yeah.
One last article here. What is it, Laser? I'm pulling it up right
John
now.
Hickenlooper held a really weird town hall where he talked about watching porn with his mom.
Who's John Rickenbacker?
A presidential candidate, a Democratic presidential candidate.
All right. Held a really weird time. I'm talking about watching porn. Democratic presidential candidate John Hickenlooper. Have you seen this guy?
No, I
Are you
haven't.
following any of the...
I haven't really.
He's an odd duck, man. Before this even came out, he was... you ever see The Circus? You ever hear me talk about The Circus on Showtime?
Yeah.
They're covering all these Democratic candidates that are coming out of the woodwork. It was the episode that I was telling you about where they're saying that the Democratic candidates need to... If we're going to stand a chance of winning the election, we can't be like all
All over the
buckshot
place.
all over
Right,
the place.
right.
This is one of the guys that they
That's
were talking about.
buckshot. Yeah.
Because he's, all these guys have their own little following.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this guy, like, he wants to stay real fluid and doesn't let any labels stick to him.
Yeah.
And, like, people don't tolerate that in the political arena,
Yeah.
They're like, so, would you say that you're pro-gun or whatever? And he's like, I just don't really like labels. And they're like, yes or no.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
So they talk about each candidate on the circus. I really want to. I need to watch this.
yeah, they kind of give. I mean, it's not super duper structured. They talk about, it's a weekly show,
Okay.
so they're really trying to stay on top of current, like
Right.
what's going on with the election, with the midterms, with. So they kind of talk about who's receiving the most attention, and one of the latest episodes was just about the Democratic Party in general.
They'll pick kind of a thing to really focus on,
They
like
focus on a handful of things, but they're
kind of like John Oliver will do.
Yeah, I don't watch him. Only just you and my mom do. During his Wednesday night town hall on CNN, host Dana Bash asked Hickenlooper about watching Deep Throat with his mom. Deep Throat was the porn. It was actually Watergate. They talk about it in Watergate. That was the name of the whatever the police call the takedown of a situation. Operation
Deep Throat.
Yeah. And I don't remember why they call it that.
It was like the code word or something.
It was the
right?
code word to like take down this.
Okay.
I think
It was like the
somebody's
go-ahead.
watching this and they're like, "No, dumbass, that's not at all what it was like." Dumbass isn't a word or isn't a cuss word, dude.
All right. So am I only doing F words on this?
This is
No,
like
just overachieve.
repressive.
He needs to.
Oh, overachieve this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repression.
Repression.
Oppression.
All right. Yeah. John's oppressed.
So listen.
Yeah.
That term for the Watergate thing, it came from an actual porno, and I don't know what the correlation is between the two, but I guess host Dana Bash of CNN asked Hickenlooper about watching that porn with his mom. An anecdote the former governor of Colorado first detailed in his 2016 memoir. Apparently, a friend had invited 18-year-old Hickenlooper to see the movie, then considered pornographic chic.
To see the movie. Like was it in theaters?
Yeah, well, I think this was during a time that porn was becoming like avant-garde, high art.
And it probably wasn't real graphic like it was.
I think
like
that
it is
they
today.
were, but I think that they were putting this risque artistic spin on it.
Yeah.
And they had plot lines and all this, and I think now a lot of porn
It was like burlesque.
No.
In that it's like avant-garde,
very French,
artsy.
Yeah, French.
Yeah, burlesque is very
artsy.
French.
Burlesque is like a show, come on, my baby, come on, and they're throwing their skirt up in the air. You know what I mean? It's not avant-garde.
Sure?
It's like circus shit. They got garters on and a bunch of That is what it is. It's like what they do on a bar top at a saloon.
No, that's what's it called?
it's not.
What's that called? What he's talking about?
I don't know.
Vaudeville,
No, where they're on a bar
Yeah.
top.
Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, Coyote Ugly. Yeah.
No, burlesque. I've seen it, and it's like the big sisters, and they got their
It's
titties
not.
all pushed up. Bullshit.
It's like a
bull
striptease.
crap.
It's like a striptease with one person. They're not dancing.
Nah, man. I know some thicky dicks that go and do burlesque, boy.
It has nothing to do with weight. Let's move on.
But it's completely different from avant-garde porn. Can we agree on that? Complete.
I wasn't saying it was the same thing.
Saturn and Earth.
I wasn't saying it was the same thing. What I was saying is that it's nudity that's sold more as artistic than it is
Yeah. So during this time,
than it is come jerk off to this.
Yeah, but people probably still do. And people are perverts.
People are perverts,
Perverts
yeah.
are gonna jerk off wherever.
Yeah.
Boy.
Like
So
George Michael
yeah. Jerked off in a
and Pee Wee Herman.
Jerked off in a truck stop restroom, and the cop said, "Enough's enough. You're not going to keep coming in here like this."
Enough Znuff was an 80s band.
Apparently, a friend had invited 18-year-old Hickenlooper to see the movie, probably in the theaters, because they're trying to do this artsy-fartsy thing.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Look at him.
And then he was like, Mom, come along.
That guy looks like a guy that would be like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go see it." With his little his little
Whip out his little
shrimpy
pecker.
buster,
Whip out his little shrimp.
It's like, something's happening. He's
Yeah.
like, just now? You're 18.
Yeah. Mom, my shrimpy's enlarging.
My shrimpy. And she's like, run for governor.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can redeem yourself.
Mom, my shrimpy hurts.
So, yeah, this is what this dum-dum does. Hickenlooper at the last minute invited his mom since he didn't want her to have to stay at home alone.
Weird.
Right. Right. Now just imagine, like, put yourself in this guy's life where this is, like, happening. You know, you're Hickenlooper.
Yeah.
This guy that, like, ends up wanting to run for president, right? Let's take it back to 18. And I'm your, like, little shifty friend that probably has been smoking since he was 14. And
Yeah.
you like hanging around because I'm, like, dangerous.
Yeah.
You know? I get you high a little bit.
And so you asked me.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, just sitting here with Mother.
That kind of gave me a headache.
Yeah.
This now.
Just sitting at the house with Mother. What are you doing?
Come out here real quick.
Okay,
come
hold
outside.
on. Ma, I'll be right back.
Don't worry about that. Hey, man, you want to go see the titty movie?
What do you mean?
Hey, there's this movie called Deep Throat. And it's about
Deep Throat.
yeah. You want to see some naked bodies?
Oh,
You ever
I
seen
don't.
some naked bodies piled up
I don't know.
and some cork sucking and log jamming.
Cork sucking. I don't
Log
know.
jamming
jam.
and hole punching.
I don't know. It
You
sounds.
know what I mean?
Have you seen it?
Don't be a poof.
Oh, I'm no poof.
Come on. Let's go.
Well, hold on. My mom's in here alone.
Ditch the tart, baby.
Yeah, well, she can't stay at home
Time to
alone.
ride the lightning. And then I go.
Ma, you want to go watch Deep Throat with me and what's his
And
name?
then I'm like, God.
John is his name.
All right, with me and John.
Is that the kid's name for real? The little shitty friend?
Probably.
Look,
No, it's John.
I cuss one time. I say, and I probably say the cuss that would offend your mother the most.
Which one?
GD.
Oh, you said that?
I just
yeah,
said,
you
I
did.
yelled it into the microphone. So just beep that out. Hey, and dude,
That's the most offensive.
Cindy Hopper is not alone. Like my stepmom,
Yeah. Andrea
McKenzie, and my dad both.
Yeah.
Like if you're super Christian or Baptist or something, and you say GD,
It's the worst.
like
It's the worst
especially
offense.
if they're
Yeah.
making eye contact with you. It's like head spins on the axis,
Yeah.
like batten down the hatches.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mom, if you see this one.
it's hurtful. I apologize too, Cindy. Hopefully, she sees some sort of merit in me. Sees past the facade.
It's all a facade.
Yeah, it's just I had a very
John
low
has
self-esteem.
layers of facade. Mm-hmm. He seems like he's a monster. And
real-
then underneath, there's
Underneath
like,
all the layers.
well, hold on. Underneath that layer, there's like, he can have merit and like be a sweet guy. And then, but that's also just a layer.
It's all
And
manipulation.
then there's a monster underneath. But somewhere in there is,
And then underneath the monster, it's just like a lizard person.
right,
That's
Toad.
That's like trying to
Yeah.
like, get a handle on this human shit.
Right.
They're like, how can I exploit this?
Lizard brain.
Like, yeah, for my people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my people out here. Like,
Right.
these people are complex.
Yeah. Look in his eyes.
Yeah. So that's it, man. That's it. Yeah, basically. Oh no, that wasn't it. But
Yeah, that seems like it can't be it. So they go watch this flick, Ma, Rickenbacker, and John. And then, and how do people know? Why are people asking him about this? It's just public record.
listen, even after it became clear that the movie was in fact that bad, because he told his mom, we thought it was a little naughty, but we didn't think it was that bad.
We, as in him and his mom.
Him and his mother.
No, him and his friend thought that.
Oh,
The friend knew what was up.
Yeah, he didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, the friend knew what the
Yeah.
hell was up. He was smoking.
He was into like, hey, bring your mom. He might have even
He
been
probably
like,
wanted
bring
to
your
live with
mom.
the mom.
Maybe
Yeah.
mom was hot, and he was
Dude,
like, bring
he
your
wanted to
mom.
make mom
imagine
horny.
like your homeboy's mom coming with you to watch a porn? Like
Weird.
you would kind of feel weird, but you would also be like excited.
Yeah.
You know, like damn, this lady's here. Like
Yeah.
I wonder how this is all gonna shake out. Maybe she'll get a little fired up.
Yeah.
and like I'll be the nearest non-relative male.
With my little 14-year-old pecker.
Like, I'm ready to get high off of this situation.
Or no, he was 18, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found out the movie was that bad. Hickenlooper's mother refused to leave the theater. She'd already paid for a ticket, and she apparently wouldn't listen to his pleas to leave. So the son's like, "Come on, Mom,
this is bad."
He's got his thing in her mouth."
And she was fired up.
And she's like, "Yeah." Looking at his friend like, "You and me, we know what's up.
This is so bizarre.
My son's a limp-wristed sissy, but I'm going to stay." And he's like, "Oh, well, then I guess I will too, because I don't want my friend trying to smash." How could we? Of course, Hickenlooper replied before adding, "How come we're not asking more often the women, would you be willing to put a man on the ticket?"
You skipped a part of the article.
I tend to do that.
Put a man on the ticket.
Hickenlooper also seemed to put his foot in the mouth when Bash asked him whether, you'll have to edit this, like, whatever, however you want to do it, or don't. Hickenlooper also seemed to put his foot in his mouth when Bash asked him whether he would pledge to put a woman on the ticket if he wins. So that's like that's like a punishment or something.
And he said, "Why don't they? What's it about? What did he say? Something."
He said, "How come we're not asking more women to do that anyways? Like, put a woman on as VP if you're president."
Right.
When we get to that point, I'll ask you that question. So there's gonna be a follow up.
I think you read it all wrong. I think he's like joking with him and being like, "Okay, now that you said that, like, would you put a woman on the ticket if you win?" And then Hickenlooper's like, "Of course." And then he tried to flip it on the guy, and he was like, "How come we're not asking women more often? Would you be willing to put a man on the ticket? Like, it doesn't go the other way or whatever."
Ooh, that's a dicey.
God.
Yeah.
And then the interviewer
That's just
guy
dumb.
was like, "When we get to that point, I'll ask you that question." So he like shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. When there's tons of women in office, then we can ask that question. When it's when men are the minority.
Do you remember
Yeah.
that, like, zany guy back in the 2016 presidential race, and he was like, he would like indicate or like kind of hint that he smoked pot. He was like the
guy that was running like libertarian, or no, he was.
Yeah,
I think I don't remember his name. But
what happened to that guy for being zany?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Washed right out.
This guy's done just because of watching Deep Throat with his mom.
The guy from the 2016 presidential race, he was like a real odd duck. He was like an outlier sort of deal.
And I think he was running
had a
libertarian.
big following.
You're not talking about Bernie, right?
No. Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, 77-year-old Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Was do you know he's 77? How old
I did
do you think
know,
Donald Trump
which is too old. Trump's like 81.
No, Trump's 72.
All right.
But yeah,
he's very old.
Very old.
Shockingly old for how he acts.
For an
and
American male, and everybody wants to say like, "Oh, the males of my family like live to be like 90," and it's like the general male population. Shit's not looking too bright for us.
Right.
Was
and
it
we
Gary
die
Johnson?
at like 70-something.
Gary Johnson. That was it.
Yeah, correct. So Laser says she's going to live to be 97 years old.
Such a bold claim that.
And she's sure of it, too. I think like a psychic told you, right? Or something?
No psychic told me. I can.
You feel it in your loins?
Yeah, I feel it in my loins and in my ankles.
Weird.
So that's it.
I'll probably die around
Kyle's gonna die at like 48.
48 sounds
Wow.
right. Yeah. That sounds...
Pardon me. God, I keep
Maybe earlier.
trying not to
I could see me
No,
dying.
maybe later, but definitely before you turn 60.
I could see me dying at like 34.
That's
Well-
so soon? No.
While we're keeping on this morose topic, so Y&W Melly, I know that you didn't know too much about this.
I don't know anything about this.
There was a track that I posted in my Instagram story of this kid singing the song that he's become known for.
Oh, I saw your
at the
Instagram post, but I don't know anything
the
about this.
Genius Studio, right?
Okay.
And I posted that because he looks so sad.
He did look very
singing that.
sad, yeah.
And I think a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but I think that guy has some.
Mental illness?
No. I think he is beyond his years in musical capability for a 19-year-old.
Okay.
Like in a sea of mumble rappers, right? Which he's like kind of floating in.
Okay.
That video that I posted is like some grown man, 50-year-old black man
Right.
Vibes.
So
coming
just
off that.
basically he doesn't fit into the rest of the mumble rappers and stuff. Because there's
At
been
least-
19-year-olds in music.
Sure,
Yeah.
but like one of these guys with the grill and everything in
Right.
the middle of mumble rapping, where you got
Right. He
Tekashi
stands way above them.
6ix9ine and I don't know a whole lot of them, but so anyways, I watched this video,
Lil
right,
Pump.
and I'm like, I knew kind of about this kid, and there's so much pain
Right.
that he's got going on in his face, and he's putting all his emotion into this track. So, YNW Melly, at 16, got locked up for 2 years for being associated. They don't know if he was the trigger man or what,
Okay.
but I think he got charged with maybe
It's 16.
with manslaughter or maybe an associated murder. I don't know what's the charge when two people kill somebody. Accessory,
Accessory,
maybe?
yeah. Unless he was, I mean, they can both get a
Maybe,
murder charge.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe it was accessory.
So,
to
anyways,
murder.
they make it sound like he was the trigger guy, right?
Right.
And the story goes that his friend, they're living. These young dudes are charged up, man.
Right.
These young guys in the projects, they're walking around just tits.
Yeah.
I
mean, they're born into something
They're
that's
born into,
set up against
and they
them.
don't know. If
That's
you
all
put
you know.
yourself in their shoes, that's all you know. You're born
Right.
into the gladiator pit,
Yeah.
and all your friends are telling you got to be this way. You never hear any different.
Right.
You don't know what a different way is because you don't see it.
It doesn't matter. You don't have time to think about a different way.
Yeah, it's like you and I watching a surfing documentary. Like abstractly, we can understand that like people wake up and go surfing every day, but it's so far away. It's so distant. You're like,
Right.
You know
No,
what I mean?
that's kind of a good example. Especially you and I watching a surfing documentary as kids.
yeah, and it's
Like
like
who live in
like what even is a surfboard? And like these guys like get up. Well, how often they do it every day?
Right.
Like, it seems.
and you can have maybe the thought of like maybe one day.
You're like, I don't even know how far the ocean is
Right.
from me.
Maybe one day, but right now I gotta go to school.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it's cool, I guess. That's how they think about, like, college. That's how they think about the stuff that they see on television outside of the projects in the gang member life.
Right.
That's their life. That's their little bubble.
Yeah.
So, dude is charged up. They got weapons now. It wasn't like back in the day. It's just a different culture where there's no fist fighting. There's really not a whole lot of knifing anymore because you're like a chump if you have a knife. Go get a shooter. That's the guy that wins. So this guy's walking around with a pistol, man. His buddy jumps out, scares him to like play a joke. Like, ha! Shoots him, kills him. Yeah. So just 2 years in like a juvenile institution or whatever.
Yeah.
That song that you hear where he's talking about being in a jail cell, crying, alone.
And what's the song called?
Murder on My Mind.
Okay.
Can we play it on this? Like, what would that look like? What would it...
We could also just link it though below.
No, I'm saying for you to watch it right now.
Oh, okay. Just listen to it.
Yeah.
Sad.
So, anyways,
So we just watched it.
so we just watched it. And what we just watched is the his cutting the track on Genius at the Genius Studio, Murder on My Mind. So it's not really an a cappella number, but it definitely is as high octane as the music video. So to get
Almost made me tear up.
yeah, it did make me tear up the
Yeah.
first time that I saw it. Like I'm sitting in my room, like I watched it a couple times, and I don't know what it brought up in me, and if I was just kind of feeling awful for him, or if it was like bringing up stuff from my own youth or whatever. He's just so young. Now, if you watch the video, it's very artistically done. There's a boa constrictor, and like it's very haunting looking.
Yeah.
Like the Lil Wayne Goons versus Goblins video, like that
Yeah.
sort of like, you know what I mean? But this is a very, very different rendition, you know, and it's just
It's
him,
more raw, yeah.
Yeah, at a single microphone, and he's kind of got a voice on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I like his voice. I mean, it's a little bit auto-tuned through that mic. But
Sure, it is, but...
Yeah, you can tell though he still has.
Yeah,
I like his flow.
But he's got so much pain behind it, and if you look in his eyes, it's like a combo of nothing's there and then too much is
Right.
there.
Oh, and I believe him that he smokes loud to be louder than what's in his head. Yeah.
Something about, he's got all these thoughts in his head, and like I was telling Kyle, like, he killed somebody. He killed
a friend of his. Right.
So he's sitting there thinking about this time that he did and how he can't forget about his friend that he killed.
Wakes up and that's on his mind.
So he wrote this song, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew this until now, but he just got charged for 2 more murders of 2 of his other friends.
Really?
So this song was, in a sense, they're calling it a confessional. You know how rappers like running little cliques now?
Yeah.
That's what the Y&W is. Like,
Okay.
his name's Melly, and then
Y&W's a group of rappers.
Yeah,
okay.
So there's 2 other yo-yos. I don't know. He just did a collaboration with Kanye West.
Okay.
Oh, kid, man. Anyways, I don't know. The article I pulled up to talk about this is kind of brief, and I don't even know if they're talking about anything. But
so they're using this as some sort of evidence in the trial, or no? This song?
oh yeah, it'll be brought up.
Yeah.
So he killed 2 of these other Y&W
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly,
Yeah.
but they more or less know that he did it. And the way that this allegedly went down is him, another one of his little rat crew guys is to his right in the passenger seat, and 2 other are in the back, and they get into some sort of argument. He turns around and shoots both of them, and they pull him out of the car and lay him out on the sidewalk and do some arranging of whatever. Or they might have dropped him off at the hospital. I think that's what they did. They kind of drove around and dropped him off at the hospital, and they told the cops that it was a drive-by.
And they died.
And the cops just didn't ask questions because they don't give a shit about what's going on out in that environment anyways. They're like, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And they went back and
Jesus.
looked at it. And so the video that you just watched, it wasn't just his one friend that he was talking about. He knew...
So that song was written after those guys were murdered?
No. After.
Wow. That's crazy.
So what you're watching in that video is not just his one friend that he's like mourning loss of. He's talking about more recent
murders on his mind, and he can't stop, basically.
I don't know if it's that he can't stop. I don't know. Yeah, maybe like can't stop, but not out of lust.
Not out of lust, but like that's always there.
That's what he
and I'm
knows.
Capable of murdering more.
But he's a kid, and he can't just put it out of his mind. His friends that he killed, like some like a 40-year-old.
Well, no one really can.
Yeah. But I think there are other.
That's where PTSD and all that comes from.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna find its way
have
back out.
Different ways of coping with it.
Yeah.
His real name is Jamel Demons.
Jamel Demons.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Demons.
Wow.
So, anyways, man, that shit just kind of, I hurt for him. His life's over, dude. He's gonna do the rest of his life in prison.
Yeah, he has no bond.
Yeah, no bond. Judge gave him no bond.
That's crazy,
19 years old, man. And that was his like offering that he cut in Genius Studio, and like you can tell it's all there. And he probably thought, I'm gonna get caught for this shit, So it's no guarantee that they'll use that track in the courtroom, but it's also kind of being talked about.
So was this guy? Was this a popular song, or is this guy famous, or not really?
Yeah. He's like one of the new Tekashi 6ix9ine.
And the guys that were murdered, were they big too?
He was the biggest one in their clique.
Okay.
He's the one that cut a track with Kanye West, which that video's on YouTube. You can go watch it. It's super weird. because Kanye's gotten super weird and took this kid along for the
He
ride.
has, man. I was listening to some old Kanye though the other day, and
He's so good.
so good, man.
Back in the day.
I don't understand because you hear people like so many people hate Kanye and his music. Like they just
No,
can't.
I do
listen
believe to a degree he's a genius.
They just
but-
can't listen to Kanye's music too. Some people, Jessica being one of them.
Yeah.
And I was putting on that old stuff and was like, wow, man, he's a brilliant beat maker and just
he
really
was a young guy
really
when
really
he
good.
Wrote a lot of that stuff.
Right, and when he was making beats for Jay-Z and stuff,
And he
was
does that,
very young.
and he sees that in kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he did a collaboration with an 18-year-old, and I don't know how often he does that.
Right.
But he did it with him, you know. And like I said, the song and the video are very weird. You can tell it's like Kanye's brainchild because this kid's way
Yeah.
just kind of along for the ride, and the video's very strange, and it's graphically very strange. And I think I'm familiar with the graphic designer that does some of the graphic designer's work that they got on this project because it's very familiar. It's like a lot of grass blowing around and shit. I don't know if you've ever seen the people dancing around, but they're made out of something.
I don't know. I'll have to watch it.
Anyways, yeah, go watch it. But yeah, man, little kid, done, cooked.
And rest in peace to the
For sure, man.
YNW guys
it's
that
easy to
died.
get caught up in like this guy's celebrity, but I don't know, man. It's those two kids. Not only were they like taking a backseat to his career,
right,
they're
and then he murdered them.
further fade into obscurity with they're just going to be two of his victims.
Two of his victims,
tied to his
Right.
legacy. So this guy, dude.
Their names were YNW Sack Chaser and
Sack Chaser, YNW
like
Sack
chasing
Chaser,
paper.
rest in peace, and
YNW Juvie.
YNW Juvie, rest in peace. Kind of stole Juvenile's name, pretty much.
Yeah, he
explicitly.
He probably didn't even know Juvenile though.
Oh, dude! Any rapper coming up today knows who Juvenile is.
You know the one of these.
They better know who Juvenile
One
is.
of these guys. In fact, I'll look it up. I don't know exactly.
But yeah, I'm sure he just was in Juvie though. It was probably more where he got
Probably.
that
One of
nickname
these
was in there
kids
early.
just,
Somebody started calling him Juvie. Probably unrelated to Juvenile, but rest in peace, Juvenile. Or young Juvenile, YNW Juvenile. Juvenile's still alive.
YNW Juvie.
So I don't know who it was, but one of these one of those little 18-year-old mumble rappers who's got real big, real popular around the Tekashi 6ix9ine uprising.
Little Xanax.
Yeah, one of them. He's one of the black kids, not the white kids. I know, not that bears any relevance, but I just can't remember who it was. He recently came out and was like, Tupac and Biggie were only famous because they died.
Oh, I think that actually was Lil Xan that said that.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, but I know there was one, or Lil
he-
Pump, there was
he
one that
did.
said like, I don't like Tupac's music or something.
Yeah, Little Xan, I know, has said something like that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Have you seen that kid?
I saw that. I saw him like saying
Dude,
that
he
and
looked
talking
like
about
he
it.
slid right out and dropped on the ground and come up a little. I look at him and I'm like, how the hell did this kid become famous?
I think Hell's fine.
Because he is butt ugly.
Lil Xan?
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
said Tupac is boring.
That's right. Tupac is boring.
but some other kid just
But
came
mumble
out and
rap's
said
not.
the only reason that they're famous is because they're dead.
Now, I what he's saying, I get like where he's coming from as far as like how much more popular and legendary somebody can become when they die early. But those
Their
guys,
father's a gangster rapper.
yeah, those guys
like,
were incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like the same with
they started an era of music,
Right.
So you can't really.
yeah,
They're
same
pioneers.
and it's interesting too because same thing with Kurt Cobain. Like the same thing could be said about like I've heard that kind
But
of
he's
thing.
the grandfather
but he's
of,
also the grandfather of grunge rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
anytime somebody's brave enough.
now Jim Morrison, however, didn't really start anything, and he's.
I can't stand Jim Morrison.
Yeah,
I've been to his grave though.
He's I didn't go. I thought about going while I was in Paris, but I
It's a
didn't.
Shithole.
Yeah.
All it's gonna
Just
make
a
you
grave.
do. You gave up on the cuss counter, huh? All it's gonna
yeah.
make you do is like
Shithole.
it's Is that like 2? Is that 2 tally marks?
Because a hole?
Yeah. Cause
No, hole's okay. We can
all
say
Jim
hole.
Morrison's grave would make you do is dislike his fans more.
Yeah, I can see
Kinda
that.
like the trashy stuff. That
And they're there crying and leaving like a bottle of Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, all right, here, this is for you. And I'm like, would he want that? Was Jaeger even around back then? It's like, yeah, leave him your black light bulb.
Right. Because I listened to Riders on the Storm for the first time to this black light bulb.
Yeah, it's so corny. I'd heard a deal.
Here's my lava lamp, Jim.
Yeah, right. I'd heard something like a security team or like a maintenance team has to go in there like once a week and clear all that stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's like I wonder if these kids would still leave it if they knew it was going to end up in a bin. Like in the end, there's like some parents like.
Probably, because they don't actually think. What do they think's going to happen to it? It'll rot
I don't think
there.
people think about that sort of thing.
They don't. So I think they would still leave it because it's like the offering is the part that's special to you or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy's an idiot. Tupac is one of the best rappers
legend,
ever.
Dude. And he's so
And
intelligent.
Looks like
Biggie
he's
was very
12 years
good too.
old.
Biggie,
They are. I mean, these kids are young. He's
He
not
looks
12.
like- I know, but he looks like.
Yeah.
this.
Are you? If you had to, I don't necessarily like the comparison, but would you go with Biggie or Tupac as far as like
Oh,
your
Pac
favorite?
all day,
Yeah,
man.
me too. Yeah, by far actually. But I do love Biggie's flow, and he was an incredible
Biggie's
rapper,
great, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like that's one of those questions that you could easily you have to go with your gut,
Right.
Because if you start thinking about it,
Well, the answer is who do you listen to more in your life, and mine's Tupac. You know, like who do you?
yeah,
That's really the answer. Is who do you gravitate to listen to more, like on your
that's
own?
true. I
by
guess you wouldn't
yourself?
listen
Yeah.
to one more because you want to hate them,
Right.
like Creed or something. I'm
God.
I'm gonna put some Creed on because
I hate it. Yeah.
I like being mad.
You used to listen to Mercy Me a lot.
Who's that?
I can only imagine with my life with her.
That's a country song, right?
No, it's a Christian song. Surrounded by your glory.
Yeah, you remember DC Talk?
Yeah, I
What
do.
if I stumble? What if I fall?
My brother David listened to DC
What if
Talk when I was
lose my
real
step
young.
and I
Yeah.
make fools of us all.
You remember POD?
Yes. Look, check it out. Where is it?
It's
You got a
the one
POD
on
poster
your
around
door?
here?
Yeah,
Is it
but that's
POD?
not POD the band. It's like
Yeah, I know.
it's got something to do with Adidas or something.
Oh, okay. What did they sing, POD?
Oh my god. Oh.
It's like something
My
real.
other
early
brother,
2000s.
Mark, was big into POD.
Oh my god. Wait.
It's like something. Boom goes the dynamite or something. It's like very
goes-
early 2000s. Like,
Laser, what do you got? What do they sing? Something about
it's
like
something like that. It's,
right.
Wait.
You got to get quicker.
I know.
This is what I
I
said
don't know
when we
why.
asked her
I
to
feel
do
like
that.
they
She's
only
not a
have
fast
one
Googler.
song. Sorry.
I'll find it.
POD hit.
POD hits. This is so easy, Laser.
Yeah, so easy.
Watch this. We are.
That's not the one I
The
was
youth of
thinking.
the
Yeah, no,
nation.
that is it.
Yeah.
That's definitely
And then there's
Boom. It's a boom.
boom goes the
Boom.
dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
It
there's
is.
also alive. Is that I feel so
Oh
alive?
god, it makes my like
Full of every
brain
first-
hurt. I can remember. You remember what the guy looked like?
Yeah, he had like dreads,
Big
didn't he?
heavy dreadlocks.
Big heavy
and he'd,
dreads.
like,
Yeah.
fling him around.
Yeah.
Like, let everybody know that he had him.
Right.
The song
Shout out.
Live was pretty popular.
Shout out POD. I think they're still around, but
Not-
they just do like
don't
more. They got like more Christian. I think.
No shout out.
Were they were always Christian, but somehow it like became also mainstream. That was
gotta
a
go with-
time
Yeah,
where
they're active from 1992 to present. So
yeah, they're still
doing
active,
stuff.
and that was a time where Christian songs somehow like the Mercy Me song I was just singing was mainstream popular, right?
Bro. I don't know.
I
Who
don't know.
cares?
Yeah, who
They
cares?
suck.
Is Romeo Lacoste going to jail? Who's Romeo?
So check this out.
Okay,
Romeo Lacoste. It's back. He was like even kind of coming up when I was tattooing, but
he's a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
yeah, he's a tattoo artist. He's a celebrity tattoo artist, right?
Okay,
So
he was
he's
on one of those
tattooed-
shows and stuff, probably.
I don't think he's on a lot of shows. I think he was on a show, but I'm not sure which one it was. But it doesn't matter. He's now not known for that.
I
Whatever.
love New York.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe he was known as that, but not anymore. He's just known as this big time. He's tattooed Justin Bieber. He's tattooed...
okay, he's like a celebrity tattoo. Okay, right. You mean like... okay, I thought you meant he was a celebrity, so he's like tattoos celebrities.
Yeah, tattoo celebrities. And those guys... Once you get plugged in to
they pass around
to that circle, as he calls it, over and over. Like, I'm in the circle.
Well, then also your tattoos are like Justin Bieber. Your tattoo is getting photographed all over the place,
this
and everybody
sees
it.
This guy is a hyper douchebag.
Is
right?
he? Yeah.
He like talks about like, I appreciate you acknowledging that I'm in the circle. He does an interview with this guy, and like the guy didn't say anything about a celebrity, and like
and he was like, how dare you not?
Just more like telling the people, the potential viewers, like, and I appreciate you recognizing I'm in the circle. Like he's part of like some secret club. Super douchebag. Yeah. Anyways, he's like well known. He's tattooed a lot of YouTube personalities. It comes out, and I know that this is kind of like trending in its own right.
Right.
Well, just women's issues are becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
It comes out that this guy, some chicks came out and were like, Romeo Lacoste used to text me about my butthole when I was 15. Or whatever it was.
Like, did you see
his butthole? Like
about his butthole?
Yeah, come get down on this butthole. This celebrity.
Did you see the little excerpt of transcript from the R. Kelly video? Where it was like just some of the things he said, which was like, "Show me that 14-year-old butthole." was one of the things, and it was word for word. Show me, let daddy see that 14-year-old,
or maybe daddy your 14-year-old pussy.
Right, and then
let me see that 14-year-old.
Let me see that 14-year-old butthole. He says verbatim 14-year-old in the video. He says, "Let me see that 14-year-old butthole." So it's not like he can't say like, "Oh, I didn't know she was 14." He wanted the 14.
So he's going down.
Right. So back to Lacoste,
which
Romeo
is great.
Lacoste.
I wanted him to go down.
Yeah.
More than anything, the more that I learned about him, the more I'm like, nail him to the wall.
R. Kelly's a monster,
and I'm kind of like that with this guy too, man. Nail his ass to the wall. But for some reason, it seems
this guy's is more dubious.
I don't know. I definitely nail him to the wall. And I think that he had potential to be a definite scumbag, and he might have done some real scumbag things. But I'm a firm believer in like, let the evidence show before we
all rally against him.
Right, but there was plenty of evidence against R. Kelly before I started, and I started thinking that way back in the day.
Right,
Michael Jackson, I thought all that shit way before. The more that came, he went to court and he was paying people off with cash and like da 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 da.
Right.
This was widely documented. And that's when my prejudice against him was developing as the data was available.
Right.
But this guy, we only know what we know. This is the first time stuff like this has come to light. And these girls, I don't know what prompted.
So there's several girls coming forward saying he texted me about his butthole?
Or about just whatever, that he's a pervert.
Okay.
He was trying to screw us. And I don't know what prompted them to come out like this. A lot of these guys think, it's because I'm famous now and I get money now that these girls are bringing it to light, which I don't know if that has something to do with it or not, but that's really kind of besides the point, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, they're bringing it to light because, that makes sense. It is beside the point, though, because, like, they're not going to, who are they going to tell if it's just some guy that's not famous? They're not going to be telling news articles. They're not going to be talking to the news about it if it's just you know.
So check it out. There's a and our viewers can just watch this video on their own. But a guy named Keemstar, right?
Okay.
He's a big I wouldn't even call him a journalist. He's kind of like a Perez Hilton guy. He does interviews.
He's a personality.
Yeah. And he'll do solo videos like this and just rant and rave.
Okay.
And do...
He's like a YouTube personality? Okay.
This is all like kind of happens within the YouTube ecosystem. In fact, here you go. Keemstar's YouTube channel is called Drama Alert.
Right.
But anyways, he's a grown ass man running a YouTube channel called Drama Alert.
Like us.
Straight male, evidently. And he gets
Big firm ankles.
big firm ankles, large beard, beard culture, hyper masculine.
Right.
And he's running a YouTube channel called Drama Alert. So I just wanted to highlight that, you know.
Right.
Say what you say. But he gets the hot interview with him. And this guy is such a peanut brain and is so unwilling to go the conventional routes when you get these kind of charges against you.
Yeah.
His ego is like, I need to address this with my peanut brain and do damage control.
Okay.
So he goes out lawyerless. I'm sure he does have a lawyer, and I'm sure his lawyer would
and can afford one at least. Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Okay.
And he goes, Keemstar's like, I want to do an interview. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait.
Which I guess if he is innocent of what's being accused against him is like...
No, yeah, but still within the filter of a lawyer.
You should
Because
still
you don't want to incriminate
automatically...
yourself. You don't want to say something that could be misconstrued.
Right.
So he sets up this interview to call in to Keemstar. As he's calling in, he's watching another Keemstar video that this guy had already made about him.
Okay.
Where he's just roasting him.
So he's calling in and he's watching.
He's calling in. He's like,
rebutting.
Yeah, man.
He's making his rebuttals.
Hey, bro. He's like very LA. I don't appreciate, like, dude, I'm kind of pissed, bro. Like, I'm watching this video.
I can't wait to watch this.
And, like, I just don't think it's, like, very chill for you to be, like, saying these things about me. And it's like, you don't even know me. And, like, he's like, all right, man. Well, you know, this personality is, like, real obnoxious and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's cut to the chase about this shit. Did you do these things? Like, right out of the gate.
Right.
He's like,
yeah, that's what we want to know.
well, so check it out. Like, here's the thing. And, like, there's a lot of, like, loopholes. And the guy's like, loopholes?
Loopholes.
And he's, like, not using the right word. He's like, yeah, like things that people don't. They don't.
He meant like indiscrepancies or something.
People like they don't always have all the facts, you know. And
indiscrepancies.
Like, yeah, and the guy's like, well, what are they getting wrong here? Like, did you send these texts? Are these screenshots real? And he's like, yeah. So like, I'm gonna get to that. And it's just like deflection and aversion, and it's a long interview that's pretty much consistently is like that. I've seen some reaction videos where they put like a little counter.
Of how many times?
Of like how many times he deflects, or how many.
Right.
I think one guy had like a bozo counter, or like incriminating himself counter.
Right.
Something to that effect. So, anyways, man, cop showed up at his tattoo shop yesterday,
and he's arrested for the charges that
I don't know if he got arrested or not, but
okay, cop just showed up, got a tattoo.
Right. They're like, so, bro, did you talk to a 14-year-old about your butthole? And he's like, nah. So there's a lot of loopholes. They're like, all right, we'll be back.
Laser, would you report this guy?
Yeah.
If he texted you?
She's like, a girl's going to be like, absolutely, yeah. I don't need to wait for the interview.
Yeah.
String his ass up.
Would you, though?
Yeah, man, this is fucked. So you can go. We need to. And I'm just gonna say this on the video right now. We're gonna put up the screenshots of his text, and you know, one of the things that like I think we need to be like cognizant of is because the more that this stuff comes out, these celebrities like with their greasy text and stuff like that. Like, you almost get desensitized to reading this stuff. Like, mass shootings, you know, there's like
it's like
Paris nightclub.
By the 10th article in the...
marathon, a school, a mosque, a church. You just hear about it, and then it's like...
And it becomes less...
right, with these...
I don't know, not less real, but like less impactful, I guess, because it's so...
You don't need to lean into the mic. It'll pick you up.
Oh, sorry. Word for word, what he said to them is, by the time you leave, you'll have a tummy full of cum and alcohol.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's allowed to say cum, but I can't say shit.
Yeah, you can say cum.
Can
You can say as long as you're talking.
can.
As long as she's saying
you can.
a tummy.
You can get away with murder over
She
there.
can say
behind
a
behind the
tummy
camera.
full.
Tummy
Tummy
full.
full of alcohol.
I want to let you know, Laser gets away with so much behind the camera. She's wearing a hat with a swastika on it right now,
And that's it.
and that's it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's like a bra made out of yarmulkes. Very avant-garde.
It's true.
So yeah, man, go watch this video. And I'm not just telling Kyle. I'm telling you I encourage you to go watch these videos of this guy if you can tolerate him. I only got through a certain amount of this Keemstar's video because
Right.
he is the type of person, pervert or not, that I loathe the most
See, I think
in the world.
like I know what you're saying about how when more and more articles we can tend to get desensitized, but I feel like it becomes we get desensitized to the individual, but it continues to bring more awareness to
The
the main
subject,
problem.
but the
Yeah.
victim, they get lost. They fall between the cracks, man.
Well, and that happens even from the very first subject. Like that doesn't matter as much because of more and
But
more happening.
the horror becomes lessened over time. It's the shock that creates
Right.
shame.
But here's the thing. The shock is lessened because we are all more aware as a society that this happens all the time.
Right, but then the change is lessened because it becomes
Because there's less shock.
provocative. You know?
See, I think that if
Oops.
maybe the initial potential for there to be drastic change can be lessened, but as far as us as a society being more and more aware of this, I think there will be
America
more
drags its
gradual
feet
and important
on
change.
everything. The 49 people in New Zealand, right? New Zealand?
And they immediately banned
ban
assault rifles.
which would never fly here, not in a billion years.
Right.
New Zealand doesn't have a Second Amendment. You know, I'm not going to even get into that. I hope we never get into that on this show, to be honest with you.
the
Man.
feminine and masculine power throughout the universe changes every 2,000 years, and it's time for feminine.
Really?
I just learned that, and I'm not really sure.
Cleopatra.
Yeah, but every 2,000 years,
What,
something like that. I don't know that much about what I'm saying right now, but I believe the little bit that I heard that it's time
it
for the
makes sense.
feminine. It does,
Cleopatra
yeah.
was like the one.
Right. And
then-
so it's
and then
time
what
now
came-
for
she was-
masculine has been in power for a very long time, and now it's time for feminine energy
I know so little about
take power. And we're just at the very
historical
beginning of this right now, apparently. And I'll read more about this, and we can talk more about it in the future on the podcast. We can both
You
read
know,
about it.
Cleopatra had like little sex slaves. So
Yeah, she was the boss.
get in
Yeah.
where you fit in now, boys.
Right.
You want to be
Little
trusted,
boys.
and you want to be kind, and you want to be the handsome boy.
Yeah.
And you want to be, but what you
Grease up your ankles
don't, but
now.
what you don't want to be is the guy hauling rocks,
Right.
the cretin, the lumpy browed, furrowed browed, like hairy backed, turtle shell. Ugh. You don't want to be one of those guys because you're not going to be a sex slave.
So how do you choose? What's one of the
How
first
you
steps?
carry yourself,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, be nice.
Be nice,
Don't be a dirt bag. Don't be a
Yeah.
scumbag.
Yeah.
Behave like a sex slave. You know?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
like-
Submissive and sensual.
You don't have to be. I bet you, Cleopatra.
Behave like a sex slave. Is that great advice?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
You're not being aggressive, at least.
Yeah,
You're not-
that's true. If you're
behaving like
Yeah,
you're
you're
behaving
Right.
sensual, respectful.
yeah, okay, behave like a sex slave, men.
Yeah, man.
yeah. Let's
Not
be
women.
very clear on that, men.
Yeah, and
behave
then
like sex
I don't
slaves.
think. Yeah, I think that the woman in power would want them to be have a spine. I don't think that she would want them to be spineless. They just
No.
need to know. You
They
just
need
need
to
to
be
know.
considerate,
Yeah, you just need to know who wears the pants.
loving. What?
You just need to know the women are wearing the pants now.
That's
Yeah.
all.
It's 2019.
So we'll
For
just see how
2,000 years,
we'll
women
see how
will
it all
wear the
shakes
pants
out.
starting this year.
I do art, so I'll be fine forever in any environment.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I could go to prison right now, and I would not be at threat of being victimized because I draw. It's true. Ask anybody. You go in, you draw. Stet said it last episode.
Yeah, but
I think you maybe took that way out of context.
yeah,
No,
I think you
my
got a
homeboy-
little too cocky
my
about
homeboy-
that.
My homeboy Jared, well, he did end up fighting, but he got locked up, and he said his first hustle was doing tattoos.
Yeah.
And he said the tattoo guys never got fucked with.
So you're just gonna not worry about respecting women because if you go to prison
I'm saying
for
I
a
don't-
charge against
no,
women.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
Yeah.
saying that there's a third option for me besides be a sex slave or be in the quarry.
It's be in jail?
And it's be in jail
No, it's like
doing
be the
tattoos.
artist. Like it's like I'm over there. It's like
I don't know.
you got two
You
lines.
might end up being a sign maker, an outdoor sign maker.
That's what's up. You know
not
what I
a sex
mean?
slave,
When there's
though.
two lines,
You might
it's
just
like
get-
sex slave or quarry rock carrying people, and it's like, man, that seems so risky.
We might
this
just
girl
get-
has like weird taste too, so
You might just get killed.
no, I would never get killed. I'm too quick on my toes, baby.
That's not even close to true. And you could also get killed by disease.
Look at me like this.
You could also get killed by
Metaphorically
disease.
speaking, I'm quick on
Disease,
my toes.
heart disease.
Yeah, you could do any of these things happen. I could turn into an elephant. All of a sudden,
No, those don't happen. That doesn't happen.
could though.
Could it? Laser, look that up. Can that happen?
No,
All right, next thing.
It cannot.
I mean,
Next
that's it, dude. Romeo Lacoste, you're going down, baby, for being a pervert. And hopefully, we've already showed your greasy ass text messages.
So do you hate this guy?
Oh yeah, man. These are the worst types of people.
What do you
A,
think you see in this guy of yourself?
It's what I hear. In myself.
Because in part, he's a
think
tattoo
the
artist.
potential-
Maybe the potential of a
I think the
scumbag behavior.
potential of being a douchebag and like what is probably causes the most rage within me is like that he's a douchebag and he's clearly unaware of his level of douchiness.
Right, and that's always
And that causes
something that-
fear within me.
of how much awareness you have of your own douchiness.
So I feel
Or
like
scumbaggery.
I feel like the workaround to that is become the oppressor again, and nobody will look at me and think I'm a douchebag if I'm busting on somebody that
Right.
will widely be agreed upon
Yeah.
that is a douche.
Good
So
point.
it'd be like-
that's why I brought up the question.
Even if
yeah.
somebody's like watching this out here and like nodding their head aggressively, like, yeah, you are a douchebag. It's like, yeah, you think that about me, but I'm not. At least I'm not this guy. And they're like,
But somebody might be like, actually, let me see what you texted me last week.
yeah, you think about that shit too. Lord knows. I've never texted.
And I think you did
14-year-old
text me something about your butthole.
Dude, Kyle could make me look like a monster on his text. And I'm often surprised that he doesn't like screen cap them and like
in order to
show
ruin you,
them to people
destroy you.
because
I could destroy you in
I
this
text
text
him
message thing.
violent things to him about him, threats about other people.
Yeah.
There's nothing flattering in my text to Kyle. If he doesn't pick up the phone when I call him,
Which
like
is
he's-
all, which is
like
been often
because he's
lately.
at work,
Yeah.
and he doesn't need to. It's followed by a litany of texts, like perpetuated by rage.
It is.
What is the last
Like
thing you said,
it-
Kyle?
the last, I think probably just nah was maybe the last one, because that's been kind of a thing. Just nah, or I'll text him nah.
Yeah, nah
if I'm at
means
work.
like-
it just
Yeah,
means like
Not like he's like, I'm not gonna answer. But
right.
if I can write it first, it's like nah, like hell, not like.
Yeah, the past couple were just nah.
What did I say before then?
Yeah, I want to hear something monstrous.
Well, here, is there another news article or no?
That's it.
All right, here's one. WTF, hell nah.
He didn't answer.
We supposed to be business partners. You effing with me? Screenshot this. I'm going
Perfect setup.
and this is real. I'm going to kill you. Better show the cops. That was the last one. But there's some monstrous stuff in there, and I could bring Jon down.
I'm gonna kill
Jon's whole
screenshot
empire
this.
down. So therefore, ruining his last third option. Maybe if he went to prison, he could still do art, but I could ruin his art career with my text messages.
Yeah, but I'd have a very opulent one in
Prison,
prison.
right?
I could be living large, dude, because I've been doing art a long time. I know how to draw pretty well. So, what does that say you did? Go draw the biggest dude on the yard type shit?
Right.
You
Yeah.
might want to not do that in maximum security. He might think you're, like, keen on him.
Right.
Want to turn you out immediately and be like, thanks for the gift, white boy.
Right.
And then fucking hem your ass up.
Right. Frame it.
I'm, like, trying to think about...
Use
like,
it as like a...
You know what's funny is, like, I am trying not to cuss, but I can still talk about, like,
gross
forced sodomy and, like,
Right.
assume that your mom would want to listen to that.
Right. My
It's
mom
like,
doesn't want to listen to
it's
any of
not
this
just
episode.
black or white.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, and then he anally raped him.
Yeah. My mom would be horrified.
I can't believe there's no way she watched the whole episode.
I doubt it.
Your
But I don't
mom
know,
does
man.
love you.
My mom does love me. And as soon as she found it, she was probably like, oh, look at that. What's this Kyle made?
I think she found it.
I think she told me. I briefly talked to her about
David
it.
talked about it, I bet.
There's a good chance of that. She said that she just went to my Facebook. And so my mom went to my Facebook and saw that it was leaked.
That's not how she found out about it, is it, Cindy?
How did you find out about it, Mom? Call in
Cindy-
to my cell phone.
Cindy, enough about me and my silver tongue. How did you find out about my silver tongue in the first place? I know Kyle didn't tell you. I know Kyle didn't say, Mom, tune in, listen to Jon say F words. I should have been respectful of you the whole time and just assumed you were listening, but I was unprepared.
In other words, he apologizes again, and I
apologize, Cindy, but I would love to know how you found out about this. Inquiring minds wanted. Are you going to leave any of this in?
Yeah. I think my mom probably went to my Facebook. She doesn't. She has a Facebook that she isn't even friends with me on. She's friends with nobody on it. But she'll get on and she'll type in Kyle Hopper and go see what's going on in my life that I'm not telling her about.
I got an ex like that.
Parents love doing that.
Right. So she'll do that, and I think she saw what's this? Caught me sharing probably the thing about me and Jack showering together or something, because she did mention. Oh, I saw the
People
guy
without
that.
Facebooks can get away with so much, dude. They're like the Navy SEAL of
Well,
Facebook.
it's also the people that have the Facebook, but they never like anything. They never post anything.
But sometimes you can kind of more or less tell that those people are on there because they'll go like a wedding photo, or they'll like somebody's engagement announcement or
Right.
baby announcement or something, and they're like consistently doing that. Yeah, some people are just like.
You can just get on. It's a public forum. Yeah.
One of my ex-girl, I was just talking to her today, and her Facebook is like that. And
Okay.
she'll throw it out there when I'm talking to her. She'll be like, oh, yeah, I don't know, because I don't have a Facebook. And I'm like, but you do. And she's like, yeah, but I don't ever get on there. I don't even password. And I'm like, bull, plug your ears, Cindy. Shit.
How about people? How about people that have? I think I'm friends. I noticed. I was looking through my friends lately, kind of thinking about cleaning it up, because there's way too many that I'm not actually in contact with or whatever. And how about people that have 3 or 4 Facebooks just because they can't remember their password? Have you ever had to make a new account for something because you can't remember your password? All it takes is forgot my password. They send an email.
No. And Apple has key tag, and it holds all your passwords for everything. And then you got to use your thumbprint to access key tag. So if you can't,
and Samsung does the same thing. They have Samsung Pass.
Here's how I feel about it. If you can't figure out how to operate the technology, you don't need the technology.
You don't need the technology
because we need less of that in the world. Our species is dying. We're reproducing like rabbits.
Right.
We can't figure out how to respect the environment.
Or the environment.
Anything. We're just collapsing in on ourselves, and a lot of that is fueled by all these dumbasses that we've got populating the planet.
Right.
We need to. You can say dumbass. I don't like.
I think that's fine.
I don't like how he's thinking from his mom's point of view is what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he should overachieve.
We're overachieving this episode on the cuss counter. I mean,
You need to rate it.
this is this episode only. I'm not going to be checking your cusses every episode.
You're already doing better than you
Right.
were before.
And I cussed a couple times in this one.
Yeah,
No,
you fudge and
a couple
cussed.
times.
You said the F word way more than me this time.
I friggin' said
I
the
think you're
F
doing
word.
freaking great.
Dude, this whole time that we've been talking, I've been having to look at this picture of Romeo Lacoste.
And we'll put it on
Yeah,
the
I've been
screen so
looking
that
at him, too.
should we have it? We should have it on the
So
screen the
LA,
whole time.
bro. Shout out Nora Martin Hall, who lives out there and loves it. That's a friend of mine. And
Hey Nora, yeah, shout out to Nora. She said that
Was
she,
hot.
Yeah, she DM'd us on the Egomaniac
She's-
Instagram saying,
oh my
"Who's your
God,
friend?"
so LA. You know what makes somebody LA is when they talk about how much they hate LA. They try to separate themselves.
That's what makes people Austin too, I think, right?
Yeah, they try to separate themselves
Yeah.
from Austin.
Right.
They're very Austin culture. Do you think that
Oh,
about me?
yeah.
Do you think I'm very Austin culture?
No, you do try to. No, I don't think so. I think you're more Texas than you are
I don't,
Austin.
I don't hate Austin, but I don't see myself here for
Right. Well, like I said, I think you're more Texas than you are Austin, and I think those are kind of two
There's a lot
separate
of
cultures, a
dope
little
places
bit,
in
you know.
Texas, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, LA people.
But you do have people in same
It's
thing.
very trendy to be like, oh my God, I hate LA, but they'll never leave.
Right.
Because they don't know how to exist outside of LA.
Right.
They'll collapse like a dying star elsewhere because they fade into anonymity.
Right.
But LA, there's somebody. And they get high off the rat race.
Well,
Like
are
New
they
Yorkers.
somebody? I mean, you would think you would fade into anonymity more so in a huge city like LA. You mean when they're talking to people outside of LA, they're somebody because they're
for
from
sure
LA.
That,
yeah.
like because there's such a thing that comes with LA. But no, I mean if they are somebody in LA,
Okay, so
they've had to
celebrities
fight
and stuff.
tooth, grit, and nail,
Right.
to earn that position. And then
Right.
if that's what you got, you're gonna hang on to it for dear life.
Right.
It can look very intriguing for you to act like you don't care about that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, it's like going, oh, this old thing.
Right.
Like, yeah, your old thing, that Ferrari, like, well,
Yeah.
it's overrated.
Right.
It's like, all right, then sell it. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Or like you being like, oh, this art, this whole thing.
I've never said that about that.
No, I know. But if you were to say that about like some art, it'd be like that kind of.
My art's fucking dope. Doper than Kyle's. Why is there two?
I don't know. You insulted me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You insulted
really
me,
emphasized
and you
it too that time.
right, and and this is basically here. This is what it is. Cindy Hopper's John Cuss counter.
Hey, you know what I would love? I feel like people that are going to be watching this episode are going to be like, what the fuck have they been talking
and
about?
bored to death. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
whole.
Going on a little long.
I think we could, like, you
Sometime.
can edit this thing down to like an hour, though.
Maybe.
I don't
yeah.
know.
I'm just gonna
There's
pretty
not
much
a
let
lot
it
of stuff
fly.
that seems like it could be cut out.
We're just gonna
Really?
let it fly.
I
So,
keep
do we have
thinking about
anything
it.
else? Do we have any more segments? Do we have any more?
Do you think, just real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you think, what are the odds that we could get Cindy Hopper on here?
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would love to be able to sit next to her after all my hard work, and it's like showing your mom something that you've been making in class or something.
Oh man.
You know,
Wow,
like
that would be good.
all
Yeah.
the hard work of like becoming a reformed cusser, and just have her sit next.
And I think you may be able to do a better job with having her right there too.
Oh, for sure, but I don't want that to influence me. I want to do it on my own. I want to show her that I'm a big boy.
That would be cool. We could have my mom on and say, "Look, we did it."
Run
John's not saying that.
run our whole podcast through the filter of her. See how that shakes out. Fuck it. It's worth a shot. All right, so there it is. We got episode 5, man. And look to speaking of fives, I'm gonna say the exact number. You can go look for yourself. But we got a what are you doing? 5?
Episode 5.
Episode 5, and we've got 55
Hey.
followers on
Just like dinner.
YouTube. So man,
55.
thank you so much to the people that followed us. I tried to look
At who it was?
Yeah, on YouTube, but I don't think that they offer that function.
So when you will get the notification when they first do it, but you can't just go look at who all the 55 ones are. So you
Which
can
is
see like
crazy,
the 12 most recent.
Because I really thought it would be cool to like say your names on here, but I can't. But you know who you are. Man, I can't say enough about how much it does mean to us. Like, we recognize every number that does follow, and I'm so appreciative to the people that said that they have followed, and to the people I've met out there in the world that are like kind of like, oh yeah, I need to follow you. I'm gonna show up at your house and make sure that you do that.
Bring you some cookies and
A knife.
And yeah, we appreciate any feedback that we get on the.
Yeah, we try to listen to that. Right?
You know, case in point, Jon only cussed 15 times this time. And that's a very big accomplishment. And maybe next time it'll be 12.
And tried to interrupt you less. Do you think I interrupted you less?
I don't know. Listeners, chime in and let us know if I was interrupted a lot.
Please do.
I think probably less, but granted, there's two of us.
And
So it's an easier
what's
task.
What's the other one? Interrupted you less and was nicer to you.
I don't know if that was the thing, but we did. I think
It was.
It was in the very beginning.
Okay, that's right, from your mom.
Not just his mom. I've heard that from a few people. That
Okay.
were too adversarial.
That we got some animosity bubbling in between.
Now it's good, right?
Yeah, now y'all are pals.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're pals. So we listen to all that stuff, man, and so we really, really appreciate the follows. We're trying real hard to get to 100 followers on this channel because it opens up a host of options for us available on YouTube for this channel that really don't mean a whole lot to you, but mean a lot to us for
Right.
the functionality of
At 40
this channel.
at 40 subscribers, we already got one offer to do a porn. And
Did
at
y'all really?
50, yeah, that's what happens when you get the more subscribers you get different offers and stuff. So we got one to do a porn at 40, at 50, we got an offer to be like to go in on a restaurant.
What are they
And so
offering?
if we get 100 subscribers, we will be able to make it www.com YouTube.
Yep.
www.youtube.com/egomaniac podcast, along with a wealth of other cool
Yeah,
things.
it's just really cool, man. So to summarize, please subscribe. And well, I'm not really beating it in right now. Kyle's not either. But the more we get, we're probably going to start hitting you with that like, subscribe, share.
Right.
We're not really asking anybody to share.
We mostly just want you to subscribe for
just
now.
really, that's all you got to do.
And if you enjoy it, like tell somebody about it. Be like, this is my two knucklehead friends or two knuckleheads.
Content's going to continue to get better. We work real hard, and like I said last week, we got skin in the game. If you didn't see last week, we got Stets on there. It was really
yeah, please go
funny.
check that one out. It's good. He had a little list of horrors for us that he talked about, and we ate hot dogs.
for real, like produced a list.
Right.
So,
And
anyways,
it's good. It's worth the watch.
episode 005, brought to you by Milk.
And there's exciting guests upcoming. We don't know the order of those, so we won't release that info right now. But
I think I know the next one.
very
But
soon there will be some exciting, an exciting new episode for you to show your
I wish
children.
I could do Melly's gang sign, but I can't. Thanks.
Thank you.